Do you have a webshop with WooCommerce or with Shopify and you want to increase your revenue? Then this video is for you. In this video, I will show you how you can build an email list, put everything on automatic pilot, and then increase the revenue of your website. Let me show you what we're going to cover in this tutorial. We're going to use the free tool called Omnisend to create opt-in forms on your website to gather subscribers. These forms can pop up after a few seconds, or when visiting a specific page, after scrolling, or when people tend to leave your website. Besides pop-ups, you can also create fly-ins, landing pages, and embed the forms in your website. You'll learn how to create automated workflows like sending an email, waiting a few days, then sending a text message or a push notification. You can also use the split function in workflows. What does it mean? You can create rules like if any person clicked on the URL in the welcome email, then they seem to be interested in the discount, then they get this email talking about 10% discount. But if people have not clicked on a link in your welcome email, then they get an email talking about 15% discount. Why? They're probably not interested in the discount because they did not click. So in order not to lose them, I offer them something better. And this does not only work with click on any URL in a certain email rules. You can work with a lot of rules over here, and this is a great way to increase the sales and revenue on your website. What else? You will learn how to send emails, text messages or push notifications to your entire subscriber list or targeted groups based on their interest and activity or inactivity. These groups, also known as segments, can be created based on specific filters that you set up once, such as recent purchases, inactivity, or spending over a certain amount on your website. And in that way, by creating segments, people will automatically get the right messages based on their behavior or inactivity on your website. And of course, we're gonna make use of AI, we're gonna make our text better, and we can use AI to create segments for us, which will make it a lot easier. And last but not least, we'll use A/B testing to increase the conversion ratio on your website. And in the overview of Omnisend, you see the total revenue of your website and how much was generated by campaigns and automations from Omnisend. And that shows how much Omnisend can make a difference for your webshop. In 2018, while enjoying a vacation with my wife, I sent an email to my 5,000 email subscribers promoting a 25% discount on a premium WordPress tool, and it earned me $3,100 in affiliate commissions. In 2020, I launched an affiliate marketing course and made $7,000 in sales within 24 hours after sending a promotion email to my email list. That's the true power of an email list. If you follow all the steps in this tutorial, you have a big chance of increasing the revenue of your website. So congratulations with that. Now, let me show you two more practical things. In the description of this tutorial, I have timestamps. So if you want to go to a specific part in the tutorial, you can click on the timestamp and you go directly to that part of the tutorial. When I go to fast for you, you can go to the settings here at YouTube, go to playback speed and slow down the speed of the tutorial. And if you want to go back a few seconds in the video, just hit the left arrow on your keyboard and you'll go back 5 seconds in the video. The first thing we need to do, we need to get an Omnisend account and download Omnisend. Let me show you how you can do that. In order to get a free account at Omnisend, we go to a new tab. We go to ferdy.com/Omnisend. Hit enter. I allow everything. And it says over here, you can start for free or over here. I click over here. And then we can sign up with Shopify, Google, or email. I want to sign up with email. So I click over here. And my business email is info@europeanwardrobe.com. Let me see if I wrote that correct. europeanwardrobe.com. I need to create a password. And my business is e-commerce. I select that. If it's not, just select e-commerce. I agree with the terms of use. And if you want, you can be signed up for marketing newsletters about the products. It's up to you. I do it. I click on sign up. Now it says you've got mail. I need to go to my email account to confirm my account. So here it is, complete your registration. And then over here, I click on verify email address. Awesome. Now I need to fill in some more information. So my first name, my last name, my store's name, European Wardrobe. My website, HTTPS, europeanwardrobe.com. Which platform are you currently using for your store? Well, I use WooCommerce. If you use something else, you can choose it over here, or you say none. I say WooCommerce. Which email marketing automation software are you currently using? If you have something, you can select it over here, or other, or if you don't have anything, say none. I click on continue. Then I need to finish some details. If you don't have a business address, just use your own address. My time zone is from Amsterdam. So I click on continue to Omnisend. Setting up your account, this could take a moment, and there we are. Now it's time to connect our WooCommerce store with Omnisend. Let me show you how. I go to my website and I sell products using WooCommerce. What I need to do, I need to make a connection between my WooCommerce plugin and Omnisend. So I click here to do that, connect to WooCommerce. Okay, I need to download the Omnisend plugin for WooCommerce. I can click over here to download it. There it goes. Now I go to my website, to the backend, to plugins, add plugin. And then I click over here on upload plugin. I click here and I select the Omnisend Connect plugin over here. And I click on install now. I activate the plugin. Now it says over here, connect your store to Omnisend. So I click here. And I want to connect my account by clicking here. And now I need to make an integration between WooCommerce and Omnisend. And I need to approve of all those things over here, which I do. I click on approve. And it says your account will be created in a moment. Awesome. What we need to do now, we need to line up or sync our branding from our website with our Omnisend account. So when we send emails, it will have the same branding as in our website. Let me show you how you can do that. Awesome. So what we can do, we can use the style of our website. Let me close this and close this and integrate it with Omnisend. So I use the dark blue color over here. If I go to Elementor, to the settings, global colors, I can grab this second color and place it over here. It's the accent color. And also the dark one. If I want to use a light color, I can use that over here. So it maintains the style of our website. The headings, I like them to be in a real way. And all the paragraphs in open sans. We can have social media links below all the emails we send. So if you want that, right now it grabs everything from Krokelblok. I can change it to Ferdy, Korpershoek. So you can grab all this information if you want to. If you want to get rid of some things, you don't use them. If I don't use Pinterest, I can get rid of it. I can also get rid of everything. And then I click on Save Brand Assets. Okay, now there are a few things we can do over here. What I prefer to do, stay to everything. I'll do this later. 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 And I'll do this later because I'm going to show you what needs to be done. So what happens if you click here at Dashboard on Overview, you see all the revenue, and I hope, of course, for you that it will increase through the days, through the weeks, through the months. So everything is set up. What can you do with Omnisend? Let me show you an overview of what is possible. So let me give you a brief overview of what you can do in Omnisend. You can send campaigns, that is sending an email to your whole email list or to a specific segment. So through time, your email list will grow, and then you can send an email to everybody in your email list or to a specific group. We have automations. When people sign up, we can add an automation. In that automation, we can send emails on autopilot. So we can say that from the first moment on, they get a welcome email. Then after 2 days, they get another email. Then after a day, they get a text message. We can do A/B testing, split testing. It's like another word for an email sequence or a text message sequence. We have forms. With forms, we can make sure that people opt into our email list. There are a lot of different forms, and that's the way to get people to our email list. And then we have audience. Based on the behavior of your contacts, we can create certain segments. So we can say that people that bought for more than $1,000 on our website get a special discount code. We can say that people that have not bought anything for 6 months on our website, they also get a discount code. Based on their behavior or their inactivity, we can create segments, and we can link the segments to the automations. So we can turn our web shop into a money-making machine. We're going to cover all those things. Right now, I want to go back to the dashboard, and let's start with getting subscribers to our email list. Since everything is set up correctly, it is time to get people to our email list. We can do that using forms. So let me show you how to create forms within Omnisend. And there's so much possible, all within the free version. I really like that. So let me show you how to create amazing forms so we can get subscribers to our email list. In order to give people the opportunity to opt in, we need to create a form. So we go to Forms. And then over here, when you open this for the first time, you see collect email and text message subscribers from the one with eye-catching forms. So we can go to the first form. What I prefer to do, since you only see this once, click on View Other Form Types. So here you see an overview with a lot of different template forms you can use. You can also filter them. So over here, you can filter them based on a goal. You want to collect subscribers, or stop product abandonment, promote special offers, or gather interest in out of stock. You can do it based on a theme. You can choose a certain type, a pop-up, embedded area, landing page, or a flyout. You can do it based on the form settings. So maybe you want to have a multi-step form. That's oftentimes that after people sign up with their email address, they also need to leave their phone number. You can go for a form that's optimized for mobiles. So you can take a look at those filters. And if you don't do that, you see them all over here. I want to start with a simple one, and that is with 10% discount. So here's the first one, and I can use this template. And here you see a layout that will help us to adjust the information over here. The first thing I want to do, I want to edit the name. Right now it's called email and text message branded multi-step form with discount. I click on edit, and I change the name to 10% discount on homepage. Update. And what we can do, there are two things. We can save and close the form. If we do that, then it's saved, but it's not active yet. Keep in mind that this is linked to our website. So if I click over here and I enable the form, then it will appear on our website. So there's a lot we can do over here. Of course, we can adjust the information over here. I can click on it and can say we give 15% discount. Click over here, change this to 15%. So let's do that. We can add things. So right now people can leave their email. You can also say I want to go for an input over here, which is the first name. If I don't want to have this over here, if I click on one of those elements over here at the right, I can adjust this. So right now it's checked that it adds a label, first name. I want to uncheck that so we see the first name in the form field, because in that way we can save some time. So again, I can go over here, I can change the text, I can adjust the colors, I can make it less bold, I can make it italic. There's a lot we can do over here. If I don't want to have this, I can get rid of it. So right now it's get 15% off for your first order. And if I click on it, I can change the text, change the font, etc. So right now, get 15% off your first order, first name, email, and then over here, click on get 15%. If I want to adjust this, take a look, I use this color in the website. I can click over here. I can go to the button settings. I prefer to use roundings like these, and I can change the background color. Well, I can go to Elementor, to the site settings, global colors. I can grab one of the colors I use over here. So if I copy this one, I can also paste it here, and then we get something that's more in the style of our website. I can also click over here, change the text color. And what I really like is that we can do split tests. So I can play around with the colors, with the style, and see what is performing better. Let me save it and close it. And then I click on it again. So now it is saved. So I added the first name. I can also add a timer or an image or a wheel of fortune. I can play around with columns. So what I could do, I could drag this over here on top or below. Let's see, there's a new area now. And then I can drag the first name over here at the right, left, and then here at the right. I can go for this area, duplicate it. Then I click on it, bring it on top, get rid of this one. And over here, I can get rid of this one. Then I go to the layout, change the background to white. Over here, I would like to have less padding. So let's say 20 or 0. Also over here, 0, how about 20? So now we have it here at the left and here at the right. Also here we can play around with the padding and stuff. If you want to go back, click over here a few times. And then it's back to the way it was. We can see how it looks on a mobile device. Okay. And what we see is over here, powered by Omnisend. This will be in the pop-up as long as we use the free version. If you want to get rid of it, we can upgrade. I'll show you later how you can do that. What we see here below is that there are multiple steps. So after step 1, after people click on this button, they go to the second step. And here we can get the phone number from people and we can send text messages. That's all possible within Omnisend. Right now, I want to click over here and get rid of it. So we have this style right now. Also over here, I go to the field settings. Make it look like that. If people have signed up, what should appear? We see that over here. Thanks for signing up. I can use the same colors. As a thank you, you will find a 15% discount in your inbox. And then if people already subscribed, so if they're already a subscriber, they get this. I bring this to the center and change the color to that. When people sign up, they get this. And when they already sign up, they get this. So I like to maintain the style. So I bring this to, I make it capitals by saying, you already subscribed. Make it bold, Command B, bring it to the center, Okay, save and close. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if I go to the website, nothing happens. But if I enable the form, it is now enabled. If we want to get rid of that branding from Omnisend, we can view the plans and get a 30% discount. Right now, I want to stay on a free plan. Continue. Okay, so now it says over here it's enabled. We can see the amount of views. We can see the submit rate. So now, if I refresh the homepage, since everything is linked together, we get this. Get 15% off your first order. Enter your first name, Ferdy. Enter your email, ferdykorpershoek@gmail.com. And I click on get 15% off. Thanks for signing up. As a thank you, you will find a 15% discount in your inbox. Okay. But that will not happen yet. Why? We need to have an automation that is linked to this form, which is not the case yet. So in a minute, we're going to talk about automations. But right now I want to show you what else is possible within forms. And I want to talk about a lot of configurations. How can you configure your form so it will be shown on a certain place after a certain time, or when people scroll to your website, or should be a fly-in, should be a landing page. There are a lot of configurations and we're going to talk about it right now. Let's go back to this form. So we can add an email, phone number, date, drop down, a lot of things in order to create the form you have in mind. You can optimize it for all devices. And then over here, there's behavior and theme settings. Let's take a look at the behavior. We can give people that subscribe a tag. So right now it's a form subscriber and a welcome discount. I can add another tag. So everybody that enters this through the homepage, I can add a tag homepage. And if you want to, we can also enable double opt-in. That means that when they open the email and confirm their email, then they will be added to the list. But right now, if I close this, I save the changes, and I go to audience, contacts, what I see is that the 2 members on my WordPress website are already a member. And the third one, which is Ferdy, just opted in. So it says over here, subscribed with the date. So that's really nice. No phone number because I removed that area. So that's how it works. Let's go back to the form. 10% discount on the homepage. I should edit this. Make it 15. Update. Update live form. Awesome. And now we see that from all the people that have viewed this, which is only one person, The submission rate is 100% because I was the only one who saw this and I opted in. So that's a really nice rate. And if you get more visitors, you'll see the submit rate. And the great thing is we can do a lot of things to improve this. So we can optimize it. I go back. Let's go back to the behavior. We can add tags. We can schedule this. So we can say only show this for a specific time. So from today until the 2nd of September. We can change the display. We can say only display this when people have visited 3 pages. So I update the live form. I'll not show all the examples, but if I would go to the website, European wardrobe, the first page, nothing happens. The second page, nothing happens. But now if people go to the 3rd page, now it appears. This is so cool. So we can say only people that are really browsing on our website, they get to see this. So let's go back to display. We can have 3 page visits. We can have a certain time on the page. So when people are there for 5 seconds, then it will appear over here. We can say when people scrolled for 20% on any page, so nothing will be seen over here, but when they start scrolling, when they scroll around 20%, then it will appear. Exit intent. So people are on my website, they're browsing, and at the end they think, okay, you know what, I will leave. If they hover over here, then it will appear. And then you can get the 15% discount, which can be a reason for people to decide not to leave the page. Or you can create a custom trigger. Well, right now I want to show this to everybody after 5 seconds. So people that are there and they leave, no. But if they're here for 5 seconds, then it will appear. It doesn't matter on which page they are. So I can update the live form, click on it again. Okay. Then there's targeting. This can be very interesting. So people that directly go to my website, they should see this. Or only people that come from organic search results, or only people that come from Google Ads. So it can be that I will make an advertisement. Hey, go to this page and get 20% discount. With 20% is only for people that see this. And then I can turn this on and say only people that are from Google Ads, they will see this pop up with 20% discount. If I turn this on and I go to the website in an incognito window, this will not be shown. Why? Because people that go directly to my website don't come from Google Ads. So this is some advanced targeting. I go back. The visibility, I can say show this on all devices or only for people on a mobile or only for people on a desktop. I say all devices. The frequency, well, if I go to an incognito window, European, I wait for 5 seconds, I do absolutely nothing, and after 5 seconds, it appears. If I close this, what I can say over here is that when I close it, I will not see it for another day. I can also say hour. So after 1 hour, they see it again. I think day is really nice. So if people decide to click it away, then after a day, again, they will see it. But if they enter the website a second time in the same day, they will not see it anymore. So I can also say that people will see it 2 times and the 3rd time they don't see it, except when they are there a day later. So I say show it 1 time per day. I go back and then my favorite one, A/B test. We're going to save the best for last. So we're going to talk about A/B testing, but first we go to the theme settings. Right now, this is a pop-up. It appears out of nowhere over here. That's the pop-up. I can also change that to a fly out. Then it appears like that. And I can decide that it will be in the corner here below. I can change a lot of things. I can change the background or add an image over here. Well, let's say I bring this back and bring it back to a pop-up in the center. I can also decide that the pop-up is from somewhere else. There's a lot you can do over here. I can also have an image as an overlay over here. So let's add an image. It will look like this. And then if I play around with this, it can be on top, it can be at the right, at the left, none. So that's really nice what you can do over here. Let me remove it. And then I uncheck this by clicking here. I can change the form width. I can make it a landing page. So I can send people to a specific page. And if I update the form, now there's something new when we click on it. Over here, there's an external link. So now this is a whole page. So that's what we can do. Let's go to the theme settings. I can embed it. So when I update it and I click on it again, I can now copy this and use it in my website. So if I edit this with Elementor, and I scroll down, I can have a new area over here. And then I can go for a text editor. And in that, I will paste this code. Now, if I publish it and I take a look at the results, this form is not a pop-up anymore, but it is embedded, as you see over here. So you see there are a lot of things we can do. I prefer to go back to the theme settings, form layout, and make it a pop-up again. And then we go to the form styles. Well, we talked about it already. Right now we see those rounded corners, which I like. I can also change it over here. For instance, for this form, like that. I prefer that. I can change the border width, so you can have a border. You can have a border style. This is so 2005, you know, like this. Super discount, buy my course. I prefer not to use that. So I drag it to the left. And the overlay color, that is what you see here. This is not when you, okay, let me show you what I mean. If I update this form and I go to European and I wait 5 seconds, now you see a small overlay. You can change it. So if you want to change that, go to the theme settings, form styles, and then change the overlay color. So if I would make it red, yeah, that's what it will be. So let me bring it to this one. Go back to buttons. We talked about it. We can have 3 different buttons and style them each. You can change the background color, change the font, make it bold, change the border width, change the padding. So be my guest. And there's the field. How should the field be by default? You can also have something like this and this. And that's something we can do with A/B testing to see what is performing better. Then there's the close button. Right now it's over here. I can also make it close by clicking outside of the form. That's what I prefer. I want to give the people that go to my website a nice experience, an easy experience. So again, European wardrobe, wait for 5 seconds. And if I click outside of this area, it is gone. That's what I think is a nice thing to do for my visitors if they don't want to see it. So that's it. Now let's go to behavior. And let's talk about your behavior. How have you been behaving lately towards the people you love? I'm serious right now. I thought I'd give you some time to think about that. And since we're here at behavior, let's go to A/B testing. This is amazing. With A/B testing, you can do amazing things. You can increase your revenue. And isn't that what we want? So let me show you what you can do with A/B testing. I go to A/B testing. So automatically a copy will be made. So copy 1, copy 2. I can rename them. So version A, I call this one over here 15% discount. I prefer to name it like this, version A. Copy, update. Then I can click over here, go to the other one, save. And then here, edit. Call it version B, update. So version A, I leave it the same. I want to work on version B. So what I can do a lot of things. I can change the text, see what is performing better, but I also can go to the display and see time on page 5 seconds. So with version A, it's there immediately. With version B, it's there after 5 seconds, and see which one is performing better. I can say get 15% off sign up and get 15% off. I can also go to layout, to theme settings, form styles, and then the overlay color, change it to blue, save and close. So the difference now, if I go to A/B test, both will appear immediately, but version B has a different text and a different background. So if I go to version A, voila. Really important. Let's go to the A/B settings. In this overview, this is the place where you need to start the A/B test. So if I save it and close it, I go to this form, then I need to go to A/B test, and this is the area where I can start the A/B test. So let's test it out. I go to a new incognito window and I go for European wardrobe. And at once I see the one with the blue background and sign up and get 15% off. So people get more the idea that they need to sign up for something. Okay, now if I refresh the page, I see it again, refresh it. I keep on refreshing it and I keep on seeing the blue one. So it probably has something to do with my cookies. So if I take a look now, I see 7 views for this one and 0 views for the other one. So let me go to my other computer and then also see over there if I get version A. So I'm back. I opened it on my second computer and on my phone, and only one time I got the other one. There you go. And that makes actually total sense. So what happened on my computer and on my second computer, I got version B, and on my phone, I got version A. So actually it's 2-1, but since I refreshed a lot, that's what happens. So I refreshed it also over here a bit. So as soon as somebody sees version A or version B, when he or she refreshes, he or she will see the same version. So it's actually perfectly working. 2 people saw version B and 1 person saw version A. So now I can see which one is performing better. So let me sign up for one of those. So I signed up with version A. Let me refresh it. Submission rate is 16%. Sign up rate is 16%, 16.6. So it's higher than version B. So what I can do, I can choose a winner and say version A. And the great thing, since I have a winner, I can go back to this one and I can do another A/B test. And in that way, I can keep on optimizing this opt-in form. And that's the power of Omnisend and of A/B testing. You can keep on improving your opt-in form. And in that way, you get more conversions and make more sales. Really powerful stuff. And we're still using the free version of Omnisend. I can also add multiple forms. So right now we see one at once when we go to the website. There you go. I can also have another one. So if I would go to forms, new form, I can choose one of those, or I can go back, duplicate this one, copy, and call this one 50% discount, exit intent, update, and then I go to display and exit intent. So I can save it and close it. And then over here, I can click on it again, enable the form. So I open an incognito window, European wardrobe. At once, I get this, I close it, I scroll down, I go to a different page. I'm like, you know what, I go. As soon as I want to go to the exit, I get this one. So we can have multiple forms together. So here at forms, I see we have 2. One on the homepage, actually on every page. So I don't have to say on the homepage, 50% discount appears at once, or I can say 3 seconds, update, display, time on page, 3 seconds, update, and the other one is exit intent. So one has been shown to this one. So we can have 2 forms working at the same time. So people opt into your email list, But what should happen after that? After that, we need to make sure they will be subscribed to an automation. In other email programs, it can be called sequences. We can send them an email, have a delay, send them another email. But with Omnisend, you can also send text messages. You can send push notifications. You can do split testing, A/B testing. This is so cool. So let me show you what is possible with automations within Omnisend. We have two forms up and running, but when people leave their information, nothing happens. In order to fix that, we need to go to automations, and this is so powerful. When you open this for the first time, you see this area. I want to explore the templates. This is what you'll see when you open this area for the second time. You can also create a automation from scratch. I can have a welcome email over here. I can open it and customize it. I want to start from scratch to show you how it works. So I click on start or create from scratch. First, I want to give this a name. So I click on edit over here. I call this one welcome or 15% welcome workflow or automation. So there are automations and a workflow is an automation. Update. So first, we need to have a trigger. When should people be added to this workflow? So define how a person enters a workflow. I click over here and then we need to edit the trigger. We need to select an event. There are a lot of events. So what should happen over here? What we want when people subscribe to marketing, then they need to be added to this workflow. When I do this, I have two forms. So it doesn't matter which one is filled in, they always will be added to this workflow. Well, if you have multiple forms, you need to be specific which workflow is linked to which form. So what I want to do, let me save it and close it. And I go to forms in a new tab. I only want people that have the 3-second rule to be added to this form. In that case, I should go over here to the welcome workflow, go to subscribe to marketing, but which marketing? So I add a trigger filter, and now I can select when they're subscribed to a form, and the form is 3 seconds. If I would update this, it means that when people go to the website, European, and after 3 seconds, this one appears. When they sign up over here, they will be added to the workflow, but when they go to the exit intent, they will not be added to the workflow. So what I will do, really simple, trigger filters. I think it's not there yet, so maybe I have to do it again. The form is 3 seconds, save it. I want to have another one, add a trigger that is a form. That is also the other one, exit intent, save it. But there's a really important thing we need to do, because right now it says people need to fill in the first form and the second form in order to be added to this automation. That's not what should happen. So we need to change this to or they fill in the 3-second pop-up or the exit intent pop-up. Really important to do that. Otherwise, people will not be added to the workflow before they filled in both forms, which is really unlikely to happen. So I click on update. It will say over here, people will be added to this workflow when they are from the form, 50% discount in 3 seconds, 50% discount exit intent. So both forms will send people to this workflow. So what should happen when they are triggered? Right now, nothing will happen. Well, first, if you want to, we can add a delay over here. So when they sign up for this form, after 1 minute, then the next thing can happen. So if I would say email, then it will take 1 minute for people to get this email. Well, I don't like that. So what I will say, I'll get rid of it. So when people are entered to this workflow, at once they get this email. If I click on it, I can have a subject line. Here is your discount, and I can make it personal by clicking on the 3 dots, first name, insert. But we can also make this better. Look at this beautiful icon. I can click over here, Omnisend AI. How can I make this better? How would you like to modify the subject line? Modify with a prompt. Adjust the text in a way that the opening rate will be higher. Unlock your exclusive discount. Don't miss out on your special discount. Your personalized discount awaits you. Okay? So, with AI, we can adjust things. Then there's the pre-header. Use AI. Another text. And then the sender's name, really important. I like to say Ferdy, but it can be that when people are on European wardrobe, you have no idea who Ferdy is. So I can also say European wardrobe, but makes it less personal. So I can also say Ferdy from European wardrobe. Well, that's up to you. Then there's sender's email address. If people reply, I want them to send it to info@European wardrobe, and later we can adjust this email address so it will be sent from info@European wardrobe. Now and then I want to update things. Then click on save and close. So everything is saved. Then I open it again. It's still in draft. So I click over here and I continue. So now we can edit the content. And we see a similar overview as the one when we created an opt-in form. It's a little bit different. So here is our logo. I like it, European wardrobe. And we can add anything over here. So I can add an element, which is a text, for instance. Then I can start typing hey, and I can make it personal by scrolling down over here. Click on the three dots, say hey, Ferdy, comma. Here is the promised discount of 15%. If I want to make this better, I can click over here and I can say, rephrase it. Hello, we're excited to share your exclusive discount. Use this special coupon code at the checkout, but hurry, it's valid for just 7 days. Well, make sure that it's still your tone of voice. Well, it depends. Right now, it's the web shop is called European Wardrobe. If it will be Ferdy's cool swimming suit shop, then I will make it more personal. Right now, you're a company, European Wardrobe, so it's up to you. The question is, how do you want to come across? It's valid. Hurry. It can come across a little bit manipulative. Well, I'll leave it totally up to you. I can also say, modify it, make it more friendly and less pushy. Okay. And then I can make it shorter. We can do a lot of things. Now, here's the cool part. I can add an element. I can scroll down. I can give a unique discount. I can drop it over here. A special discount will be created. I said it's valid for 7 days. So I click over here and its percentage, it's not 10%, but it is 15%. It applies to all orders. I can say only when a minimum is this amount, all orders. And I can change the expiry, 7 days. Let's do that. So over here, it says automatically when it expires. And when somebody opts in and he receives this email, a discount will be created here at WooCommerce and at coupons. So we're going to check that out in a minute. Right now, there are no coupons yet. Omnisend will create those for us. So what I can do, I can add an element, add another text here below. Okay, let's take a look over here. I want to go to the button, redeem the discount, button link to the website, primary button. I thought the primary button was bluish. So let's click on finish editing. Click over here again and edit the content. And over here, I see buttons in the email settings. So the primary button, since it's for the workflow, it's different than with a sign up form. So again, I need to change this. Let's change the background color. That's a color I don't want to use. So let's go to the website, to Elementor, go to the settings, global colors, grab this color. Okay. You can change the background if you want to. You can have an image in the background. I click on finish editing. So what should happen when people subscribe at once? They should get this email with this content. So let's start the workflow. And now it's time to sign up again. So I go to new incognito window, to European wardrobe. After 3 seconds, I get this. Dwight Schrute, Ferdy corp@gmail.com. Get 15% off. Thanks for signing up. Now I need to go to my Gmail account. Now it says Ferdy from European wardrobe. Unlock your exclusive discount, Dwight Schrute. Look at this. If I copy this and I click on redeem discount, I can now go to the shop, add to the cart. I go to the checkout or shopping cart. I apply the coupon, apply. And now I get $9 off. So if I go to the website, I go to WooCommerce coupons. I see that one is created, 15% discount, and can only be used one time for 1 week. This is so cool. So 50% discount over here. That is so amazing. I already got this again. So what I need to do, I need to go back to forms, go to the exit intent, go to visibility or no, frequency, limit for 1 time per day, update. Also the other one, 3 seconds, frequency, 1 time per day, update. So this is so cool. It's all working on autopilot, and after 7 days, this will be gone. So that's a great way to make more sales. And the great thing is when I would buy this, let me buy this, proceed to the checkout. I will fill in my details over here. I have read and I click on place the order. Awesome. So I bought it, free shipping. I got discount. So now look at this in the Omnisend overview. If I go to the dashboard, to the overview, I see we made money, $51. It only says it's not from Omnisend. Why does it say that? Because I use a different account. So let's do that again. But now strictly with the email address I used to sign up. So there it goes. European wardrobe. I'm not logged in. I get this. Leo D. K. Prio. And his Gmail account, of course, is Ferdy Korpershoek @gmail.com. Get 15% off. Thank you for signing up. Go to your inbox. I have my inbox over here. Exit intent. Ferdy from European. Okay, I copy the code, redeem the discount. Let's go to a cool product. This one. Add it to the cart. Go to the cart. Redeem the code. Now I get discount. Proceed to the checkout. I use the same email address as I used before, so let me fill in all the details. Ferdy Korpershoek @gmail.com. This is all fine. I get my discount, fill in the details. I've read everything. Place the order. And now, if I go to Omnisend, look at this. Update. Look at this. From the automation from Omnisend, we made $85. So if that person, Leonardo DiCaprio, was going to the website, just browsing, and he was like, okay, I don't like it. Let's close this website. Then I would have nothing, but because of the opt-in and the discount he redeemed, he made a purchase, I made a sale. So thanks to Omnisend, we made now $85. So what you will see in this overview is how much you're making outside of Omnisend and how much Omnisend is helping you to make extra revenue. So this is super powerful. So right now, when people sign up through our opt-in form, they get an email, but we can do so much more. We can add a delay, add other emails. So let me show you what else is possible within automations in Omnisend. If we go back to automations, look at this. We see the title, we see the status, it's enabled. 2 emails sent, open rate 100%, click rate 100%, and the revenue. So over here you see an overview of how much revenue a workflow has created. And as you see, the 85 was from my second sale. The first sale was with another email account than that is in this list. So it's automatically seeing where the revenue comes from. So thanks to this workflow, we made $85. So if I click over here, I can see even more information over here. Sent twice, opened 100 times, clicked 100%, and the sales, $85. 2 have completed it and 2 have skipped it. So what I can do so much more. This email will be sent at once when people sign up for one of those forms. I can have a delay of 2 days. And then I can send another email, another text message, a push notification, which you can see over here in your browser. So I send another email. And it can be anything. I can say your discount is still active. And then make the text better, rephrase, something like that. Use your discount. I'm just not good at writing, so I let AI do it for me. At least make it better. Yes. But if I click over here, if people make use of the discount, I don't want them in this workflow anymore, because this goal is for people to make use of the discount. So I go back to the trigger and then I can say exit options, add exit conditions is when people place an order. So when people place an order, they will be exited from this workflow. So as long as they don't buy anything with the discount, they will still receive all those emails. So the sender's name again, Ferdy. Okay, let's publish the changes. And edit the content. It's 2 days later, so the expiry date, how do you say that? Annotation, expiry, should be in 5 days from that point on. Finish. So then again, we can have another delay. We can send a text message. We can change the delay to 4 days. So it will be 4 days after this email. So the total is now 2 plus 4. After 6 days, you can send a text message. Well, we don't have their phone number, but if you would have it, you can have a text message over here. I will do another email. And when they decide over here to redeem the code, then they will be opted out of this list. They will still be on my email list, but not in this workflow anymore, which is totally focused on giving people the 15% discount. I can send an email. Last chance to redeem your discount. Finish editing. And now let me show you the power of A/B testing. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes one of my favorite subjects again, A/B testing. I love this so much. I do it with the thumbnails of my YouTube videos, with the titles of my YouTube videos. If I can, I do it with my websites to see which website is performing better. So I will have 2 different websites, slightly different. And then I get a lot of visitors, and then I can see which version A or version B of that website is performing better. Version A or version B of the thumbnail or of the YouTube video title. And then I see what is performing better and I choose that one as my new title or new thumbnail or a new web page. And then I can do another split test or A/B test. So I can keep on increasing the conversion ratio on my website based on statistics. So let me show you how to apply A/B testing within Omnisend automations. What I can do, I can drag this A/B in between. I can drag this email to email A. I can duplicate this email to B. I click over here and I can say your last chance, 20% discount. Rephrase. Okay, now I can update it, click on it again, edit the content, yes, save, finish the workflow. I can say, hey, we decided to do something crazy. We increased the 50% discount with another 5%. So you have a total of 20% discount. Only redeemable today. Again, rephrase. Okay, I click over here. The value is 20. Finish. I also need to make sure that this one is 15. So what happens now? 50% of the people will get a message. This is your last chance to make use of the 50% discount. And 50% gets an email with the text, it's 20%. So I can see what is performing better. And if this is performing really well, then I can decide to give people 5% extra in the last day. So thanks to this A/B test, I can see what is performing better. And if I see that a lot of people decide to go for the 20% discount on the last day of their discount period, then I will get rid of this one, make sure this one is turned off by default so I can make more sales. And after this one, I can have another delay. Sorry, I drag it here below. And I can send another email. Besides A/B testing, there's also split testing. Let me show you how that works. I can also make use of a split test. So an A/B test will be shown to a certain amount of people. So 50% sees email A, 50% sees email B. What I also can do, I can do a split test, and that's more based on the behavior of people. So what I can say, when people don't open this email, so first I can use this one. Oh, no, not delete, but duplicate. I can drag this to the split test and you see yes. And I can use this one, duplicate, and send it to no. So when the answer to the split is yes, they will get this email. When the answer is no, they will get this email. So now we can set up or define the split. When should people go to the yes and when to the no? So there can be rules. We can trigger people. The trigger can be when they are from a certain form, they get a yes. When it's not, they go to no. But let's do something else. We can say when people are English, then they get this email. When they're not English, they get this email. Okay, that's really stupid. So let's save it for now. I can get rid of it. There's another one, contact properties. When people's name, first name is Ferdy, save it. They get this email. When it's not, they get this email. Now let's do a more realistic one, message engagement. So select a property. This email, don't miss out on your active discount. If people opened a message, that means that they're probably interested. When they open an email, which is don't miss out on your active discount. When they open this email, then next time they get this email because they open it, so they must be interested in their discount, in the discount. Then they get this email. But sorry, let's open it one more time. Open the message. This one, let me save it. So when they open this email, don't miss your discount. They open this email, then the answer is yes. They get this email, final call for your exclusive discount. When they do not open this email, so they're probably not interested in the 15% discount, then they should go to this one and then they get even more discount. So people that are already clicking on the message, like, hey, let's see what is over here. They are already interested. So then I can send a normal reminder about 15%. But people that do not seem to be interested in the 50% discount, they should get a 20% discount email in order to make them excited to make use of the discount. Because also with 20% discount, I still can make a profit. So otherwise I lose them. But if they're not interested, this is one more motivation for people to let them buy something on my website. And that's the power of split testing. You can do it based on opening emails. You can do it based on message. Clicked on the message. So when they clicked on a link in the message, that can also be property. So that's really powerful. So if you take a look, we made a trigger. So when should people be added to this workflow? When they are opted in through one of the two forms, then immediately they get the discount, unique discount, then wait for 2 days. Hey, don't miss out on your discount. If they open this email, they get a new email with 50% discount. If they don't open this email, they get this email with even more discount. And when they buy something and make use of the discount, at once they will be opted out of this workflow. They're still in our email list, but they're not getting any more emails from us. So this whole workflow is to promote 15 and 20% discounts. So people will make their first purchase on our website. Publish it. Let them finish the workflow. So now it's a matter of getting people to our website so they will be opted into our email list. Okay, we set a lot of things up already. Congratulations with that. By the way, if you like this video, and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming tutorials about how to make a website that can generate you money. Making the email list is part of that, because if you have a website, you are selling things, you can build an email list and increase your revenue. But let me show you what else is possible. If I click on create a workflow automation, I can also have, for instance, cart abandonment. So you can take a look at everything that is possible. So what does it mean? Cart abandonment. Abandonment is when people go to my website. So let's go to the front end. They see something they like. Okay. This one. They add it to the cart. And then they leave the website. Now we can say that people that do that get an email from us like, hey, what happened? You lost something. There's something in your basket. That's with what you can do with product abandonment. So let's see. Abandoned cart, abandoned checkout. Which one do I want to choose? I click over here. So it says over here, when people add things to the cart, but they don't go to the checkout, then they should get this email. Items in your cart are selling out fast. So I can save and close this. I click over here. I start the workflow. Awesome. And now let's test everything. Let's test everything that we've set up so far to see if it's actually working. Testing is really important. So I suggest you do the same. So let's test everything. I open this in an incognito window. I go to European wardrobe. I wait for a few seconds. Jason Moa. Get 15% off. Okay, let me go to the Gmail account. There it is. Unlock your exclusive discount. I redeem the discount. I have nothing in my cart yet. I click over here. It's not there yet. So I go to another product. Add it to the cart. one product in my cart. I go to this product. It's not there. This one. I hope this one is. Yes, I want to have this one. Cool. Okay. Now I do nothing. So I close this. I go to my inbox. And now it says, from European Wardrobe, items in your cart are selling out fast. What happened? We noticed you left some items in your cart. Super cool. I can complete my order. So now if I go to, let's go over here. I refresh this. Somebody has entered, somebody's currently in. I go back over here. And I go to the checkout. And now, if I refresh this, I should be exited already. Not excited, but exit, yes, because I went to the checkout. And the exit condition is when I place an order or I started the checkout. Well, I could say I get rid of this one and I keep on getting emails until I paid. I think that's better, so let me do that. So that's a way to get people back when they have stuff in their cart, but they don't go to the checkout or they don't place the order. All automated. Right now, the emails we send are sent from a random email address at soundtest1.com. That's not super cool, not super professional. So let me show you how you can change the sender email address, in my case, to info@europeanwardrobe.com instead of a lot of numbers, a lot of letters, and at soundtest1.com. Let me show you how you can do that. When I send emails through Omnisend, it will be sent to something like this: communications at blah, 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 blah at soundtest1.com. I want to change it to info@europeanwardrobe.com. How can we do that? Over here, we go to the store settings and then we see domains. If I scroll down, over here I have my shared domain. Also over here. And here I have the Omnisend shared short link. Well, what I want is to have the option to use info@europeanwardrobe.com. If I go to email addresses, I see shared Omnisend email. I want to add one. So I can add one over here. I can say info@europeanwardrobe.com. Copy it. It's unverified. What I need to do, I need to go to domains. And then here at your domains, I need to add a domain. So I click on add domain, for which purpose? Sending emails. So in my case, info@europeanwardrobe.com. So I click on continue. The domain name is this one. I click on continue. And now I need to add those DNS records to my web hosting account. Well, in this case, I use SiteGround. So I go to SiteGround. And what I need to do, I need to go to domain, DNS zone editor. Then I go back to Omnisend. Let me get rid of this over here. The first record is a txt. I need to leave the name empty and copy the value. So I go to txt, I leave the name empty, and I paste this. I set this to 1 hour. I click on create. Now it's created. I need to go to the second one. The txt name, I copy this, but keep in mind, there's .europeanwardrobe.com. So I only want to copy everything before the point, for the dot, because over here it already says European Wardrobe. Then I paste this value and I click on create. It's created. And then the third one, demarc with this value, 1 hour, create. Okay, that's it. Now I click on finish verification and it says it can take around 30 minutes. It can even take up to 48 hours. And I had that it took 2 days before it was really working. So what I just saw here, this will be gone in 48 hours and it will be changed to info@europeanwardrobe.com. Like this. So much better. And it's also great because then the chances of your emails going into the spam folder are decreased. So if I want to see how everything is working, click over here, open the DNS records. This one is verified already. These two not, and that can take up to 48 hours. I can also check it over here by clicking here, but I'll just wait for it. It is now 2 hours later. If I refresh the page, you see the verification status is verified. And if I go to email addresses, it's also verified. So now if I send emails, it will be sent from info@europeanwardrobe.com. We've created forms so we can get people to our email list. We've created automation so people get emails on autopilot. Now it's time to create campaigns. Campaigns are emails that can be sent at once to your whole email list or to a certain specific group, a segment. We're going to talk about segments later. Right now, I want to show you how to create campaigns within Omnisend. In order to send a campaign, I click on campaigns and I want to take a look at all campaign types. I can send an email. I can send an email A/B test, which I highly recommend because then you can see which email is performing better, and the one that's performing better will be sent to the rest of your email list. You can send a text message campaign and a push notification campaign. Let's start with a regular email. I click on create email and then there's the subject line. I can say Black Friday discounts up to 35%. Why not? I can make it personal. So I can say, hey, Ferdy, or Black Friday discount up to 35%. Or exclamation, is that the right thing to say in English? Exclamation mark? Exclamation mark. Keep on learning. Yes! Ferdy, Black Friday discount up to 35%. Act now or else. No. So right now I can not do a A/B speed, or I cannot do an A/B test. I can do it with the other email, but I will do that later. What I can do, I can make this better. So I can rephrase this. Exciting Black Friday deals await you. Grab up to 35% off this Black Friday. Sender's name is Ferdy from European Wardrobe. Sender's email address, it's in the process of being accepted, so I can send it from info@europeanwardrobe.com. When people reply, I can select this one. It's still in the process of being verified. Then there's a pre-header. When you go to Gmail, you see this text over here. Right now, the biggest Black Friday deal is active. Something like that. Campaign name, this is just for reference purpose, only for myself. So I can say Black Friday 2025 01, the first email about it. The language is English. I can link it to Facebook if I want to by clicking here. And then I can choose an email template. And there are a lot. And they're optimized for results. I like to use the simple one. So let me see. If you just want to have text, you can select one which looks a little bit flat. So let me see. I can say promote products, for instance. Okay. I can select one. I can get rid of a lot of area. So this one, I like the logo. I can go for content. Scroll down a bit. And drag this on over here. I can get rid of this. So here I can write text, hey, and then I can do the first name, but sometimes people sign up and they don't have a first name. So I can say there. So it will say, hey, Ferdy, but if they don't have a first name, because they did not sign up with the first name, it will say, hey there. Enter, enter. Right now, there is an amazing sale going on. Okay, then I can add a product or a button like shop now. Okay, I can go to the button style, change the color if I want to. I can make it look like this. Okay. I can go back. Bring it to the left. And what I also can do if I want to, I can add products. So this is so cool. I can make it personalized for the viewer. I can go for the best-selling products. I can change how it looks. So right now it's like this. I can place it below each other or like that. And then automatically it will be decided which will be shown depending on which receiver of the email it is. Or I can just promote a certain product or a certain group of products. So I can go for static. I can also go for recently added products. Change how it is displayed. Okay. I can save and choose recipients because later on we're going to talk about segments, like only the people that became a member on the list in the last 14 days. There's so much we can do. We'll talk about segments later. Right now I want to send it to everybody, 4 subscribers. So I can save it and close it. Let's do that for now. And then I go to the audience, contacts. I see all the people that will receive this. Okay, then I can go back to campaigns. I select this one. Take a look. It's not yet sent. It's in draft. I click on it. I can send a test email. I can review the campaign. I can have a campaign booster. This is amazing. So if people don't open the email, I can say that after 24 hours, they will get another email. I can change this text and say the 30% discount is still available. So an extra way to make people open the email when you give another title. Okay, then the settings. That's all okay. Back to the review. All subscribers, I can change the recipients. I can send it now or schedule it for later. Based on the time zone or based on the subscriber's time zone. So I can say that for the subscriber, it will be sent at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And then based on where people live, they will always receive it around 4 p.m. So people from Europe will receive it earlier than people from the United States. So I click on send it now. Send now. It's preparing the campaign for sending. Do not close the window. It's rendering our email. Your campaign will be sent shortly. Check its progress in campaign. So I can click on view campaigns and then I can see it started, but it has not sent anything. So I'll be back in a minute and show you what happened. It's now a few minutes later. Let me refresh it. And I see it's sent to 4 people and this one is scheduled for tomorrow for the people that not open this email. So let me go to my inbox, refresh. Ferdy from European. Okay, grab up, blah, blah, blah. Right now, the biggest Black Friday deal is active. I click on it. Hey, dried fruit. Right now, there's the Black Friday. Here's the coupon code. Of course, I need to make that in my WooCommerce website. And then I see a few products from my website based on my interest. Or depends on what I chose based on what the interest is of the most people that visited my website. But you can also make it personal over here. So I can shop now. Then I go to the shop. Or I can go to the specific product. So cool. So that's how it works. And that brings me to the following. I can go to campaigns. I can create a new campaign and I can do an A/B test. This is so cool because now I can make one email. I can create the email. Then I can add a B version. Then and what it does, it makes a copy of version A, and then I can adjust both the subject line, the pre-header, the content, and then I can send it to a group of people. And based on which one is performing better, which email will be opened more, based on that information, a winner will be chosen, the one that performs better, and that will be sent to the rest of my address. And I can decide how much percentage of my email list will see this email. So let's do this. Let me fill this in. So here I have version A. I can add version B. As you see, it's exactly the same. I can give this a different name, version B. I can edit the content, make the background color orange, finish editing. So I can send this. I click on next step, and then it says you need to have at least 10 subscribers in your email list in order to do this. And that totally makes sense. So when I would have that, then I can say how much percentage of your whole email list should get the test email with the A/B test. So I can say 5%. And then in that 5%, the one that's performing better, that email will be sent to the other 95%. And in that way, you have a better conversion ratio, can help more people and make more money. Let's go to the next option. So we have sent an email to a whole email list. In this case, there are not a lot of subscribers yet. You can also send text messages when you have email phone number forms in your opt-ins. You can also send text messages. Let me show you how to set that up and send text messages to your whole email list. In order to send a text message campaign, we click on Create Campaign. And there's SMS text message. I can click on Create SMS. But I have no phone numbers yet. How can you get those? Well, of course, if we go to forms, we can create a form that is including phone numbers. So in most cases, it's multi-step. So if I take a look at this one, use template. Okay, step 2. Okay, not your email. So what I can do, I can go for a phone number. Add it over here. I can make it wider, but that's how easy it is. Just drag the phone number. Let me go back. Don't save this. Also, if you go to the first one, use template. Step 2, adding the phone number. That's how you can do that. But just dragging this area phone number over here, and then you have this area that they say that they can receive text messages from you, and they can also collect text messages. What I can do now, I can go to audience, contacts, then I go to Ferdy Korpershoek at info@ferdykorpershoek.com. I click on it. Then I see everything that's happening over here, all the activities. I just sent an email. I can click on edit, and I can add a phone number over here. So I can search for the Netherlands, that's where I'm from. And I can say +31. Save it. Okay, one more thing. It says it's yellow, so I'm non-subscribed. So what I can do, I can go to audience, contacts, select myself over here, actions, convert to subscribed, both email and text message. I agree. Change status to subscribed, and now I'm subscribed. Now I need to go to the store settings. Then I go to SMS. And if I want to reach people from the United States, I need to add my own phone number over here. I'm not from the United States, so I cannot do this. What I can do, I can generate a fake phone number by clicking here. In order to verify this number, if I was from the United States, I need to click here. Show my first name, last name. I need to show proof that this is my real phone number. I'm not from the United States, so I cannot do this. Cancel this. Now I go to campaigns. I click on create a new campaign. I send a text message. Campaign name is Black Friday discount. Huge Black Friday discount. Sender's name is Ferdy. And the text message is, hey, and then I make it personal. They don't have a name filled in. I do it like this. Hey, right now there is 35% discount at European wardrobe. Don't make this a link because if you do so, Omnisend will change it, or you turn off shorter links. So in that case, you can do it. European wardrobe.com. So now it's a link. It's not changing it. The discount coupon code is Black Friday. Happy shopping HPS European wardrobe.com. Ferdy. Okay. Shift enter. Like that. Also here another one. Like that. I can add an image or a GIF. I don't want to shorten the links. People can reply, opt out by clicking here or unsubscribe. It will look like this from people from another place outside of the United States. It will look like this. Okay, I click on next step. Okay, who should we send this to? All subscribers, which is only one, which is me. Next step. Oh, let me record my phone before it's too late. Meanwhile, I will record my phone. It will cost me 28 cents. Review the campaign. It will be sent from Ferdy to all subscribers, which is only one. 28 cents. Send now. I can also schedule it for later. Send now. I'm recording my phone. View campaign. It started. So let me check my phone. See if something is happening. I see a text message from Ferdy. Hey Ferdy, right now there's 35% discount with discount code Black Friday. If I click on it, I go to the website, I can shop, and in that way I can send and receive text messages. So we can send email campaigns, text message campaigns, and push notifications campaigns. Let me show you how to create a push notification campaign. Let's go for the push notification that will appear over here when I send one. So I click on create campaign. We need to collect people that want to have a push notification. So I click on push notification, connect app. So now I go to the settings, push notification, collect push channel subscribers. So I click on it. Now I turn it on. And in order to make it work, I need to download this file. Then I need to go to the web hosting provider of my website, which is in my case, SiteGround. Then I go to File Manager and add my root. So over here, I click on the arrow up, File, Upload. I go to my downloads, the most recent one. Don't be worried, it just says promo. Open. Okay, then I click over here. And I click on Verify the connection. There you go. Now I need to turn this on, and then automatically when I go to the website, so let me go to European Wardrobe. What I will see, European Wardrobe wants to show notifications. Allow. Awesome. Now it's allowed. Now, if I go to campaigns, create a campaign, I can create a notification saying 35% discount. And I will see how it looks over here. Title, get 35% off. There's the website. Right now, thanks to Black Friday, we offer 35% discount for the next 24 hours. Destination URL is just HPS European wardrobe.com. I can add an icon, which I prefer, or an image. Right now we see this. How about this one? I can upload something from my computer. How about this one? Upload, select it. There you go. Or an image, the same one. Well, that's really big. So how about I leave the image? So this is how it looks. Now I click on next step, push subscribers only one. I click on next step. Look at this. It doesn't matter on which website I am. If I'm just browsing or I open my browser. So it will be sent right now. I can view the campaigns. It doesn't matter where I am. If I'm browsing somewhere, I can see the push notification over here. And then over here, I see it is not sent yet. So I can refresh it. It says it started, so I can just go to the internet, browse a little bit. Let me log out for a moment. And just wait. And then all of a sudden, I'll get a notification. There you go. How cool is that? This is another powerful feature within Omnisend. We're going to talk about segments. Segments are specific groups within your email list. They are in a group because of certain behavior, because they're very active on your website, or when they get emails from you, or they're not active. You can create segments based on how much people spend on your website, if they open your emails, if they click on links in emails. You can link those segments to automations. So when people enter into a specific segment because of their behavior on your emails and on your website, they go into a certain segment. And when they enter that segment, they can be linked to an automation. So for instance, you can have a segment for people that have not bought something already for 90 days. They haven't bought anything for 90 days on your website. They can be added into a segment, like not bought something for the last 90 days. And then you can create an automation that will be sent to all the people that are in the segment, not bought something in the last 90 days. And then you can send an email like, hey, there's a super discount for you because I saw that it's been a while since you bought something. I want to give you a gift, 20% discount. So in that way, you can automate your whole Omnisend account and increase the revenue on your website. Let me show you how you can work with segments. In order to create segments, we go to Audience and the second tab, the second item, Segments. Here we can create segments in 3 ways. So if I click on Create Segment, you can use a template, you can create one from scratch, and you can create one with AI. Well, let's not talk about this feature. Of course, we're going to talk about this feature, but first I want to show you how to use a template. So as you see, you can have a segment added products to the cart, but didn't place an order. Active email subscribers, window shoppers, deal hunters. You can even have a segment for certain birthdays. So people get a certain message on when it's their birthday, but then they need to fill in when their birthday is. We don't do that right now. There's an interesting one in active subscribers. So let's start with a simple one, active email subscribers. So this can look overwhelming and that's perfectly fine. What happens over here is what a segment does, it's ask the question, who should be on this list based on their behavior. So right now it says all contacts whose subscription status is subscribed to email, you can change that to browse, push notification, SMS, is on this list. So right now everybody's on this list, but then it says only the people who also have opened a message at least one time in the last 30 days. And the medium is email. So everybody in our email list is over here, except for the people who have not opened a message at least one time in the last 30 days. So I can also change this to 2. I can change it to 60 days. So here we can create a segment based on those filters. I can add another filter, but for now I like this one. Save, show contacts, active email subscribers, last 60 days. That's what I can make of it. So when I send an email campaign or I create a new automation, I can say that it will only be sent to the segment active email subscribers from the last 60 days. And that way you can automate every single thing using Omnisend, which is amazing. So let's go back to segments by clicking here. And I click on create a new segment. And this time I want to go for inactive subscribers. Inactive contacts. Let's click on that. Wow, look at this. Everybody who is subscribed to email is in this segment. Except for the people that opted in at least 3 months ago. So everybody that opted in the last 3 months is not on this list. But after those 3 months, they will be added on this list when they have at least 20 emails, when they got 20 emails from me in the last 6 months, and they have not opened a message at least 5 times in the last 6 months, and they have not clicked on a message at least 1 time in the last 6 months, and they have not viewed a page at least 1 time in the last 6 months, and they have not ordered any product at least one time in the last 6 months. Omnisend focuses on selling things. It helps you to sell things with WooCommerce. So if you're not selling anything, you can get rid of this one. But right now it says people need to do all these things in order to be added to this segment. And that's quite a lot. They should have received 20 emails. They should have opened at least 5 emails. And from those 5 emails, they should have clicked at least one time of a link in that email, which will probably send you to a page. So I don't need this one because it's actually saying the same thing. And I could also say, you know what, also people that have not bought a product, that's okay. I can get rid of this one. So right now it says everybody on my email list that is not from the latest 3 months, that have received at least 20 emails from me, have not opened 5 emails, and have not clicked on an email at least once, like a link in the email. Those people should be saved to this inactive content list. So I save it. I call this one inactive content contacts after 3 months. Save it. Awesome. So what I can do, I can create a automation saying that everybody that has not been active, that's an inactive subscriber after 3 months, they should be added on the automation where they can receive an email with extra discount to make them active again. And as soon as they open more than 5 emails or they click on one link in one of those 20 emails, they will not be on this list anymore. So a segment can automatically be filled with contacts, and contacts can also be removed when they become active again based on these filters. So what else? Again, we can go to segments. You can take a look at all the templates there are. There's even a template, or yeah, you can also create one from scratch. Let's create one from scratch in a minute. Over here, there's first-time buyers. So people that buy something for the first time, they can be added to an automation. We can create a segment and then they will be added to an automation. And that automation can send an email after 20 days saying, hey, thank you for buying the product a few weeks ago. I hope you like the product. To reward you for being a customer, here is 20% off for the next purchase, something like that. So subscription status is subscribed to email, browser push notification, and text message. They have placed at least one order in the last 30 days. And they have not placed a second order. So they only placed one order in the last 30 days. So when people fall in that segment, you can create an automation that's sending an email saying, hey, I want to give you a discount for your second purchase. So let's save that. First-time buyers. Awesome. So that's how you can create things using templates. How about the next one? We create a segment and we create one from scratch. So we used a template right now. We can also create segments from scratch. Let me show you how you can do that. I'll start with the first filter, and that is always in my case, subscription status is subscribed to email. So I focus on people from my email list, not from text messages or the push notifications. So now everybody is included in this segment. And now I need to narrow it down using a filter. Look at this, how many filters there are based on their birthday, date of edition, email address, gender. So you can send something only to the men or to the women if they fill in those details in their opt-in form, of course. But also really interesting, if you take a look at orders, this is so powerful. So you can say that people that ordered for 5 times. So they placed an order, let's say order fulfilled at least 5 times. So they already made a purchase on my website 5 times. I can say save. And I call this one VIP buyers. Okay. What I can do now, I can go to campaigns. I can create a new campaign. Let's do an email campaign. Of course, I can change all this information, new products. I can show those products for the VIPs. So you know how to create something like this. Let me go over here. And now instead of sending this to everyone, I can send it to a segment and I can send it to the VIPs. So all the people that have bought something on my website, placed an order or fulfilled an order at least 5 times, they get this special email. But what else can you do? This is so powerful if you start to combine this automations. I can create a new workflow. Create one from scratch. In this workflow, how does it need to be triggered? Look at this. I can search for a segment, entered a segment, and the segment is VIP buyers. Save. So now when people have ordered something for the 5th time, I can say, okay, the 5 days after they bought something for the 5th time on my website, I can send them a text message or I can send them an email. And that email can be something like, hey, I see that you already, okay, let's say, hey, I can say, hey, here's a special discount because I appreciate you so much. And now look at this. Remember A/B testing over here. I can drag this one here to A. I can make a duplication. So now my VIPs get 50% of the VIPs get this email, 50% get this email. And in that way, you can optimize every single thing within Omnisend. So as soon as people made their 5th purchase in my WooCommerce website, after 5 days, they will get one of those emails. Save and close. Let's start the workflow and let's rename this VIPs with 5 purchases. And I can make it as long as I want. We talked about automations. So let me change everything or save everything. So when you start to combine segments with automations, man, you get a lot of people to your website. Everything will run on autopilot. And then over here in the dashboard at overview, you can see how much you make through Omnisend. It's through WooCommerce itself. And then you can see what is added thanks to Omnisend. So, and I hope this number will be really big for you. So let's go back to to audience segments, create a segment, and we can also use AI. There's also a new feature. I can create segments with AI. Let's try it out. So in order to create a custom segment with AI, I can just type here. It says, for instance, contacts who have been active for over 6 months, but haven't purchased anything in the last 3 months. So I can also say contacts that have not opened more than 3 emails in the last 60 days. Enter. It's reading my prompt. It's setting smart rules. And then it says, this is how it would look. I can view it in the segment builder. I can view the segment in the builder. So there it is. All contacts who have not opened exactly 3 times or at least 3 times in the last 60 days. So I can make a segment. If I save the segment, I can rename it. What else? Go to segments, create a segment, contacts that have not purchased anything ever on my website. View segment in builder. All contacts who have not placed order exactly or at least 1 time in total. Save it. Never purchased. Okay, let's go for a more in-depth one. Create a segment using AI. All contacts that made a sale in the past but have not made any sale in the last 3 months. I don't know if it's more in depth how many rules there will be created. Did the contacts view any product page recently? No, just made a purchase. Let's see if it understands what I'm meaning. It's setting smart rules. If it says that, then you know that no more questions will be asked and that something will appear over here that we can see in the builder. Okay. So it says all contacts have placed an order at least one time in total, or have not placed an order at least. This should be, and so sometimes it needs to be refined. It's in beta. So all contacts that have bought something ever in my website, but not in the last 3 months. That can be a segment. So I can say no buyers, but not in the last 3 months. Save it. So I've shown you 3 ways how to create segments from a template, from scratch, and from AI. And as I said, with campaigns, you can send it to a certain segment, but with automation, when you combine automations with segments, that is so powerful. So again, I can create one from scratch. I can trigger it by going for a segment, enter the segment, and the segment can be inactive or contact not opened, buyers but not in the last 3 months. Save it. So people that have not bought something for 3 months, they can get an email with anything I want, and I can do split testing, A/B testing, delays. This is super powerful. I've said it a few times, but there are a lot of things within Omnisend that are super powerful. I hope you're still having fun. If you have fun, please like the video. Feel free to subscribe for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials on how to make websites that can generate you money. And if you want to leave a comment, you can leave a comment. Right now, I want to take a look at reports. So when everything is up and running, people get emails, there are reports and statistics. So you can see how well everything is performing. Let me show you or walk you through all the reports there are. In order to see an overview of what is going on in your Omnisend account and your web shop, you can go to the overview. Here you see how much revenue is generated from Omnisend, from email sent through Omnisend or text messages or push notifications. Here you see the total revenue from your web shop from the last 30 days. You can change it. You can change the way how it is displayed. So today, $720 not through Omnisend, but over here, $85 through Omnisend. So normally when people go to your web shop, they go to your website, they navigate, they want to buy a few things, and then they close the website. But if they are signed up and they get emails and then they buy something, then it will be from Omnisend. So Omnisend helps you to get more revenue. Here we see the audience growth, both with email subscribers and text message subscribers from the last 30 days. You can also change it over here. And if I go up, you can click on View Reports. If you do that, you go to Reports Sales. You see actually the same thing for sales, but more information over here. Revenue placed per order from Omnisend, not from Omnisend. Again, last 30 days. How much from campaigns, how much from automation. The channel performance, how much money have you made through email, text messages, and push notifications. So the more subscribers you get, the more text message subscribers, the more push notification subscribers, the more information will be shown over here and you see what is working and what is not working. Then we can go to the campaigns, see statistics and reports about the campaigns. There are 3 campaigns right now I've sent, and I can see the open rate, the click rate, the placed order rate, the revenue, the failed delivery rate marked as spam, the unsubscribe rate. So you can see if you send an email and a lot of people unsubscribe, maybe next time you should send it a little bit different. When you upgrade, you get advanced reports. Let's go to automation. You see sales through automation, the amount of placed orders, message sent in total. You can send up to 500 messages per month for the free version. And if you want to know more about specific information about a certain workflow, I can click over here and I get more information. An overview, messages sent, the open rate, the click-through rate, placed order rate based on those automations, the channel performance, some statistics. Here are the emails that are sent, the messages, and I can click on it. Then we have the forms. Which form is performing better? 55 views, 11 views, 16.3% interactions, submission rate. So here you can see those statistics. If you click on it, you get more information. You can see how the A/B tests were performing. Then the deliverability with emails and with text messages. And then that's why it's important to make sure that if we go to the store settings, domains, our domain gets accepted so we can start using this one as our sender address and not the temporary one. If I open my DNS records, this is still not verified. I can click over here to see if it's verified. It can take up to 48 hours. Okay, so that's it about reports. I think it's amazing that we're still making use of the free version of Omnisend. The free version has a lot of features and at the same time it's a little bit limited. Otherwise there would be no difference between the free version and the pro version. So let me show you what is possible when you upgrade to one of the paid versions. The great thing is that almost all features in the free version of Omnisend are available. I'm talking about campaigns, automations, form, segments, reports. So we can start to make money using the free version of Omnisend. What is the limitation? Well, first of all, if you go to forms and one of the forms, it can be that you see powered by Omnisend below that form, and also by campaigns and messages. And if you click over here, you see per month, you can have 500 free emails. There are 483 left. Here's a free refill in 15 days. And if you want to upgrade, you get more reports. You can send a lot more emails. Right now, it seems like, okay, this is fine. But if you get like 100 people in your email list, in your automation, and you have 5 emails in your automation, quite fast, you'll reach 500 emails. If you want to upgrade, you can click over here on view your plans, or you can click over here on upgrade with 30% off. That sounds interesting. There are 3 plans, the free plan, the standard plan, and the pro plan. Well, let's take a look at the standard plan and the pro plan. With the standard plan, $11.20 per month with 30% discount, you can reach up to 500 contacts. When you reach that, then you're on a roll, things are going great, then you can always upgrade later for more contacts. This is what it starts with, and when you get this, you can send 18,000 emails per billing cycle. If you would go for the pro plan, you pay $41.30 per month, and then you also get a dedicated customer success manager and personalized content add-ons. And as I said, you can always upgrade later. So I can click on choose this plan. I continue to the billing information. I need to fill in the details of my company. If you don't have one, just call your website like Ferdy.com. Fill your VAT number so you don't have to pay the taxes, the added taxes. I click on save, add a credit card. I click on add card, continue, confirm and pay. So for 3 months, just $33.60. And I hope in those 3 months you'll make that money back. Congrats on upgrading to the standard plan. Click on continue. Awesome, and now I can send 18,000 emails per billing cycle. So that's every 3 months. So 6,000 emails per month. Awesome. And now if I go to automation, or I go to forms, one of those forms, this one, the Omnisend logo, the Omnisend branding is gone. How cool is that? I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you'll learn a ton of stuff and it will help you to make more revenue with your website. Good luck with the website you make. Jesus loves you. He has a plan for your life, and I wish you the best in everything you do. Feel free to like the video, feel free to subscribe, and God bless you, and see you in the next video, or not. Actually, I don't see you, but you will see me. It's not actually me. It are pixels with audio waves that look like they are me, but they are not me, because right now I'm laying on the beach with a cocktail. Maybe not. I don't know. I like to make weird endings in my videos, so I think I did a great job with that. Good luck and ciao.